What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Guys, we were 2 minutes away from the best Winners Lounge of the year, the best Winners Lounge in 8 months. Honestly, the vibes could not have been higher, better, more fantastic. The Nuggets absolutely whooped up on the Miami Heat, who might be the best team in the NBA. The Miami Heat, if you were to ask me, like, coming into this, were they number one, Kale? Do you remember on my power rankings? Were they number one this week? I think they were.
They were. I'd heard them described as a juggernaut.
They are. They're great offense, a great defense.
Like Juggernaut, the
Nuggets,
Marvel character.
Well, hold on. The Nuggets lose Michael Porter Jr. to injury, back injury, and so you're coming from a low point, and the Nuggets come out here and absolutely stomp the Miami Heat. Incredible defense. They get a munder against the third best offense in the NBA. And by the way, Miami got all their points in garbage time at the end. This was actually almost a mega munder, almost under 90 points. Munder? It was an unbelievable performance that gave you so much confidence and excitement. But then, with the Nuggets up 17 points and 2 minutes to go in the game, Markieff Morris comes over, and let's not kid ourselves, guys. He tried to cheap shot Jokic in the clever way. I did just enough.
Yeah, he's trying to be
slick. Just enough. Like, Jokic did not see the foul coming. He gets the elbow to the ribs, and he did the thing where it's like, yeah, I tried to hurt you, but not in a way that I'm going to get in trouble for.
Right.
Jokic took it to 11. Jokic took it to 11. Markieff jogged off, kind of did the I'm not looking. Jokic comes over from behind, just absolutely levels him in the back with a haymaker. I mean, he took that to 11. And now we sit here, and not only are the vibes sort of the oxygen sucked out of the room, Jokic's almost certainly, in my opinion, facing a suspension. So we'll get to all of that. But first, we're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR. How'd we do tonight, Dev?
We did really well, actually.
We did.
Very, very well. We won the lock of the night. We won our fun bet of the night, and the Nuggets won. So
yeah,
that was a really good game, honestly.
We have Jill Scott going. We've had nothing but I keep
putting on super high vibe songs, and then I only play one. I keep trying to let the jukebox know what we're after here, and then
it's playing no, it's sad. You guys know. So I got D-Line over here. He can't save the vibe.
I cannot say that. This is a vibeless. I don't know what are we doing. I'm in the middle of
we're
the
gonna have
with
both.
no
Honestly,
vibe compass.
Honestly, we have to capture the moment, and the moment has some supreme highs and some supreme lows to it. So we got to capture both.
Yes.
But obviously, the low is going to take precedent. Over here, I got Superstar Dev.
I'm not going to be down on this type of game or performance. I feel like this was a compelling performance from the Nuggets. And for 35, 36 minutes, this was all great vibes. This was all the Nuggets.
The best of the year by
no question.
No questions asked.
With their backs against the wall, with missing another starter, with just having to just dunk and put pieces together. They figured out a way to not only show that they're for real a good defense,
right,
but also to show that they're able to compete against no matter who is out there. That's supposed to be a top 3 team in the NBA, and the Nuggets whipped their ass for the entire night, and wasn't just a little. It was
they bullied them. They honestly bullied this Miami team. And Jimmy Butler, by the way, had a fantastic game. Didn't matter. It was Denver bullying and controlling every aspect of the game that they wanted. They executed the game plan great. It brought Denver to 6-4 on the first 10 games. You always look at this in 10-game blocks, which they had 2 back-to-backs in this first 10 games. They did not have a very favorable schedule. They played some very good teams. 6-4 to me that's what I hoped for when I looked at the schedule. I thought 6-4 would be a good mark here. So, all of that, and we're going to have to get to it. But we have to start here, guys. I mean, first of all, I'll go to you first, Eric. I know I'm putting you on the spot, the tough spot here, but
I don't mind.
What are you thinking about as you kind of are processing?
So, I mean, I'm left with, I think, the same conflicted thoughts that I think I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat reflect, which is, number one, Jokic gets so little respect in this league, and Jokic gets pushed on. He's just such a big guy that people sort of do whatever they want to him, and he's had enough. He went
He's
too hard in the paint.
This game, there was like no reason to be upset. There wasn't chippiness. Denver was dominating. Jokic was dominating. He had a first triple-double of the year. He's dominant. This game had like zero bad blood to it. But Markieff brought the bad blood out of nowhere for no reason.
Yes. He like took it there. Like he took it to a place
That
where
shot,
it sent Jokic to see red suddenly. And he just hit that point where he's like, no, you're not going to do that to me. Unfortunately, Jokic is like otherworldly strong. Like, and he has the power to end lives like that. I mean, maybe that's the wrong phrase, but like he could just knock dudes. Like he could, like, that's a huge man that he just laid waste to because he has that type of strength. So it's like Lenny from Mice and Men. Like he crushed the rabbit. Like he was mad and he went for it. He went at Markieff Morris with the same level of intensity that he felt Markieff Morris came at him with. Unfortunately, Jokic is a much larger human being and able to inflict more damage, and it sucks. Like, I understand both sides of it, and you have to, this is the constant conversation with Nikola Jokic. It's like, yo, you have so much, and there's a switch in him that will flip from time to time.
It's honestly, he has the shortest fuse of anybody in the NBA. There might be other guys that are like him. There's certainly guys that are, like to provoke or do this or that. But Jokic is a guy that we've seen so many times go from smiling and laughing to like just pure fury within a flip of a second. And that's what happened tonight. Like, we saw it tonight. I ever wondered what would happen if it happened in a moment like this where there was nothing between them. Usually there's players, when this happens in the paint or something, there was nobody between them. Nobody could stop him. He snapped and he went right after him.
I feel like I'm not down on Jokic. I'm not. I feel like he's tired of being disrespected in the way that he is. There's guys that are taking shots at him. And it's been years in the making of that just happening, where he's a punching bag for teams. And also, the idea is that the Nuggets are a team that you could walk over, that you could bully, that you can punk. And he and other players have shown that's not the case. Like, you are not going to just tee off on our guys. And also with
But does this change that, though? Honestly,
yes,
does this?
I think so, because it's like, okay, we can't just try him in the way that we think he can. First off, I know that he's not the only one that wants to hit Markieff Morris.
Right.
I think that it gives him, and it's not
Markieff has a reputation. It is that he is known. He does this stuff all the time.
We've all wanted to, that's how it goes in schools or anything. And like the bullies.
The bullies, right.
The bullies are like that, and the person that actually like responds
Markieff
back
was
to
the one
that.
with the Clippers, or was it Marcus?
It was
that Paul
Marcus.
Millsap got into his face. Yeah.
I mean, this is a theme with those brothers. Like,
right.
Yeah, but you don't do that. Like, you just don't. And then also with Jokic being the face of the league, he is the MVP of the league. Protect him.
Right.
That's what you do. If it's anybody else in the league, and we're not even going to always go back to LeBron, but anyone else in the league that is a superstar, they're going to make sure that they protect him. He went and just took a shot at him for no reason. Like, it wasn't like
this
Jokic
is the thing.
just
There was no
turned
reason.
around.
It was 17 points. The game was over. Right. Nobody was even trying. It was like, hey, let's run out both sides. Let's run out the clock. And Markieff went over there to do exactly what he wanted to do. He just didn't expect Jokic to come back with that much.
Yep. And we've also talked about like Jokic having a quick temper. None of it has been just out of the blue. It's always in retaliation. He has been the target.
Of course.
And when you become the target so many times, it's just like, hey, I'm getting tired of it. It's old. We were up big, and you're still taking shots at me. I love the fact that Markieff Morris, even though that all happened, they kicked him out of the game too.
Right,
You started this. It was you who did it, and then he got mad.
Would they have kicked him off if Jokic didn't retaliate? Would you think that would have been a
No, they would have just
wouldn't have done
let
it.
it
That's
go.
the point. That's the point, right? Like, Jokic lives in a world where things like that happen to him, and unless he calls attention to it through his frustration fouls or something, he feels like he always needs to explain to the refs that something has happened that you refuse to acknowledge because I'm so big that it doesn't look like it's a lot of violence against me because I can just withstand it.
I do think there was a level. I mean, look, I think Jokic just snapped and he just did a thing. Like, I saw some people saying, "Oh, cowardly to hit him on the side" or something. Like, Jokic got hit without being seen. I think it was like one sucker punch deserves another type thing. But Eric, your point about Jokic's strength is the part about this, because Jokic is, by everything we know, 285, 290 pounds. He is a massive dude, and he is. I remember Chuck Liddell back in the day, early days of UFC.
The Iceman.
Yeah, but he did not look necessarily imposing.
No.
But for some reason, his fists were just they were
rocks.
bricks. They were rocks. Like he just, and I think Jokic is kind of similar. Like guys talk about it all the time with when they're guarding him in the post. They're like, he's just so much stronger than you think he is, and there's other big dudes that he just pushes around and whatever. Like he is. You're right. He's exceptionally strong.
Yes.
It's because he doesn't have the rip muscles. People don't read it tonight. This is the thing about it. If Jokic hits Markieff the way he did, cheap shot and all, and Markieff rolls around and gets back up immediately like this or that, we're talking about they're both gone. Like it's like, oh, you're kicked out, you're back tomorrow, whatever. Yeah. Nothing happens. The fact that they had to bring out a stretcher for Markieff, I mean, look, I don't know. We got to wait because I don't want to say anything dumb because we saw Cameron Payne do this in the playoffs last year where he went down and he laid on the floor forever. He was not hurt at all. Like he just got right back. He was not fine. I don't know if that's the case here. Markieff fancies himself as a very tough guy. Like for his own reputation, you know, for him to be on the court, need a stretcher, this or that. Like, I don't think he would do that just to milk a suspension or whatever. So I actually think he's hurt. And again, with how strong Jokic is, hitting a guy who didn't see it coming like that, like look, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we do find out Markieff has an injury.
NBA players are different. Like Paul Pierce needed a wheelchair to go to the bathroom.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't have walked with that on me. But to go back to that, I mean, it was a bad call. Like not a bad call because like.
I love how you can't tell. You say you like are upset at Jokic. It's like a father who's like, I can't say I'm disappointed in you.
I'm not upset.
So I just happened to be in. This is the third grade. Kid hits me. He beat up the kid. Yeah. And I get expelled or kicked out. Right. And my dad shows up and he's like, I can't be mad at you. Like I just can't do it.
You did. First off, it was on camera. We all see it. Right. You did this. He responded back to you, and also. If you're the tough guy, get up and walk off. He got up and acted like, you know, like he was fine, and then he goes back down and gets all of this attention. Like, okay, let's remember who the bully was here.
Yeah, no,
who started.
I got so many people texting me that they love it. Everybody's secret opinion is that they like it.
Markieff effed around and found out.
Yeah, he did
basically, but he really definitely like his neck whipped. Like Jokic put a fucking smack.
Markieff might be suspended for one game. I don't know, like how they'll, you know, how this all gets. But I kind of feel like he's out for like 5 games. Like he's suspended injured for 4 or something. Hopefully he's okay. Honestly, like it was such a big hit that, and like you said, a cheap shot. He did not see it coming. That I hope he's not seriously injured.
Well, me too. But like the part of you that actually likes seeing something like that happen is like, yo, he's the Joker. He's funny. Everybody, you know, it's like goofy Jokic. The way the national shows talk about him, they never really quite acknowledge like the just enormous, powerful human being that he is. Like, it's kind of like, man, don't.
Oh, just I also see the timeline tonight because Jimmy Butler's like, why don't we go outside? And I see the timeline.
Oh, like, my God,
Jimmy Butler was about to give him the work, or Jokic scared. Jokic scared. It's like, guys. Jokic is literally not afraid of anybody.
No, dude.
This is the thing. Like, honestly, it's a little xenophobic. Some of where they're like, "Oh, he's so afraid. Like, he's so soft." He's like, "Are you guys crazy? Dude. This guy's an insane person."
Yeah. Like, and then everyone goes back to this. Everyone goes back to this. The 90s was so much stronger. Right. He wouldn't have been able to last in the 90s. That tough ball is what we want back. And then everybody's like, I can't believe he did that.
Right.
They did this so often.
Speaking out of both sides of the mouth on that. Always.
Often. Which side are you going to be on?
Are you kidding? If this was like the 86, what was it where the Rambus and the Rambus clothesline or whatever?
Oh, right.
That was, nobody got ejected. Like, that was like playoff.
It's playoff. And you get back and it's like, okay, when I see you again, we're gonna play hard again.
That is just we don't want to go back to that.
That's exactly. I don't want that, but I'm just saying, like, choose a side. Like, there's the gamemanship. Like, you took a cheap shot on a guy who was just dominating you, and you were frustrated about it.
Yeah.
And he responded back.
Unfortunately, he picked the strongest man.
Do I want MVP to do that? No, I don't. But also, at some point, he has to get his respect, and you have to give it to him. Stop taking cheap shots at him. Stop allowing him to just be hit game after game all of the time for no reason. He's tired of it. He's a person.
Look at the back of his arms. If you understand like what it is to get Jokic to this place.
All that being said, look, the Adam Silver's not accounting for all of this. None of this stuff is going to be factored into it. And so now the question becomes, you know, Jamal Murray's been out. He's going to be out for several more months. Michael Porter's out. We don't know how long. a suspension. I kind of feel like there's probably going to be a suspension. And again, if Markieff pops right back up, I don't think there is, or whatever. But the fact that it looked like he was seriously injured probably changed. I'm sorry, that's just the way it works.
You can't you can't take a premeditated look, 3-4 steps, run into something like you can.
I don't know if that was premeditated. I mean, he had like a 1 second.
Premeditated in the sense that it wasn't like just like turned around. It was like he stopped, turned, looked, ran. I mean, it was like a.
I still feel like this is it second degree where it's in the crime of? I still feel like this is second degree.
This is absolutely crime. Premeditated is wrong.
Not premeditated.
Premeditated wrong word because it was a crime of passion. But it was like outside of anything that is part of basketball.
I think Jokic gets a 3-game suspension. I would not be surprised if it was 5 games. I think 3 to 5 is like. But here's the other thing: it's possible it is larger than that. It is possible. Jokic didn't throw necessarily a punch, but he did throw an elbow. I honestly think it might be a 5-game suspension, and that's a significant suspension.
Oh man, I hope you're wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the number I've seen thrown out more than one time.
What do you think?
I think they'll give Morris 1 or 2 games. They can't just do a lopsided one. Like I really don't think they can. So if they give him 1 or 2, I say he'll get. I'll say 5.
You think 5 games?
I'll say 5.
Yeah. What's the range that you would not be surprised at? High end range you would like if it happens you would be like, man, that's bad break, but it was possible.
I think with them calling
Melo got a 15-game suspension for his punch back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Now that was David Stern. That was like the NBA. It was coming off of the brawl. Was it coming off the Malice in the Palace? Like
yes,
it was a little bit different. Like there were other circumstances.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got up to 10. Just to like prove a point, but
if it's 10, the Nuggets season's different
for sure.
This whole season's
I don't think they gets there. I really don't. Just because the point was they both got kicked out of the game. There was a retaliation.
Right. The Nuggets need to play the note that you're playing, Eric. You guys are both playing here, but the Nuggets need to play that note, which is just like this guy takes beatings nonstop. Right. He doesn't get. I mean, we saw the shot today from the foul line with Bam Adebayo. Untucks his entire jersey and and everybody, all the Nuggets on the court throw their hands up, just like, what the hell is going on that this guy can't ever get a free throw from you guys? So the Nuggets kind of need, I think, to play that card just to try to. Save themselves here.
I mean, truly, like the one true saving grace here we've sort of hit on this is the fact that because Markieff got also ejected from the game, his suspension has to be taken into account. So unless you're willing to suspend like if it goes to 10, like then Markieff has to get 5.
Yeah, and they're not doing that off of just a hit.
Right.
Yeah. The NBA doesn't want fighting in the league. They had a bad reputation for this, right? Like David Stern, say what you will about him. He wanted to take any fighting away. He wanted to made guys dress differently. Like he went too far trying to be like, hey, I want you guys all to look like corporate businessmen or for this or that. The NBA is very afraid of that image that, so I that's why I fear. I see some people being like, Adam, how do you think he deserves? I'm not saying what he deserves. I'm saying what I think the NBA is going to do.
This is like when we have shows talking about what the rotation is going to be. And it's like, that's not what we think. This is what we think Malone is going to do. Right. This is what we think the league will do.
Also, like, the NBA, they love tampering fines for the Minnesota Timberwolves or Chicago Bulls. Like, there's nothing they love more than making examples out of guys that they don't really care, teams that they don't care about. So the Nuggets, like, here's the, like, hey, I don't want any fighting. We're suspending the Nuggets. Very bad just to prove. So that we don't Lakers. We don't want you fighting. You hear that?
Plus, the NBA is a large corporation.
Yeah.
Like, then there's all these departments. And this is like what it is when you have a corporation. Like, all of these departments have to do stuff.
Right.
Like, people have to do stuff at their job. So you have to have, like, the penalty committee, the rules committee have to meet on, they have to, like, do something to.
Right.
That's just how, like, corporations work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it works. So what about this question? There's 2 Morris brothers. There's kind of another Miami Heat game. Is there retaliation coming for Jokic?
I mean,
so I don't think that there's going to be a retaliation from him per se. I do think that others will try to see if they could get under his skin, under Jokic's skin.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe this sends the wrong message of like, hey, this dude
is quick-tempered. But also, I think that's where it comes in with the refs or even Malone, makes a point tonight, and we haven't, spoke to him yet. I'm sure Harrison is there. But it's like you have to say, how do we protect the MVP of the league? How do we protect one of the the faces of the league, one of the best up and coming players from international play? We have to put our arms around him and protect him at these times. So I do think that people are going to try it, but depending on how he's reffed moving forward determines the direction that the Nuggets go in.
Yeah,
man.
Bummer vibes for what was like. I'm telling you, it's such a weird thing because this was, I'm telling you, on top of the world watching the Nuggets tonight. Just like, oh my God, they're incredible.
We were going to talk about how
we're going to get to segment
fixed.
2, by the way. We're also going to have to pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah, let's pretend it didn't happen. We just pretend it didn't happen and just talk about how dope they were, how the ball was moving, how shots were falling.
Yeah, all those things happened.
All of the alignments were different. Everything seemed to make sense suddenly, and then all of a sudden, here we are in the midst of Nugs life. My friends.
You guys know what I need?
Hassel cattle?
A new bed?
That's a good guess.
Do you need a new bed?
A mother effing beer?
Yeah, I was going to say a Breck Brew.
Definitely a Breck Brew. You guys know about Breckenridge Brewery. Do you guys also know about Breckenridge Seltzies?
Oh,
or do you know about
those
Breckenridge Brewery's the good company lemonades? Blueberry, right? Which one's your favorite of the lemonades?
I like to go strawberry lemonade.
Oh, strawberry lemonade. Classic.
I have found that the lime lemonade is actually very akin to, it tastes like a high-end cocktail.
Ooh, you feel a little fancy when you drink one.
No, I feel a lot fancy.
You feel a lot fancy?
Especially when we're standing in the parking lot at the DNVR tailgates, which we're having one this Sunday for Denver Broncos. Please come out.
You can come check. If you've never had a Breckenridge Brewery, you can come out there because we got all of them right there. We've also got the seltzers and we have the lemonade seltzers. They're fantastic. If you don't know where to find one, you can use the Breck Beer Locator. Just Google Breck Beer Locator. Put in your area code. Put in whatever it is you want to do. It'll show you all the locations where you can buy it from a restaurant. From a liquor store. Okay, you can find out, and you can even put specific ones in there. If you're looking, say, for the Strawberry Sky, they'll be like, hey, you can get that at such and such place by your house. And by the way, this is all over. This isn't just Colorado. It's also places outside. So check it out, Breckenridge Brewery, one of our best and longest running partners. Also tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook. You guys know about them. America's top-rated sportsbook app.
Okay.
And the one where I like to make money.
Is that right?
In fact, I have, let me think here. I have 5 times doubled my money.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. My unit multiplier is incalculable.
It's so good. So if you want somewhere to make some football bets, because we know football season is up and running, bet on those Broncos, by the way. Holy hell.
Or on Jokic.
Or on Jokic. Well, now you can bet on any NFL game this week with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers who bet just $1 on either team to score. They've done it again. They've lowered the standard. Remember, it used to be you had to get some right. On either team to score, you can win $100 in free bets. So you bet $1. If that team scores, you win $100 in free bets. You've also got the same game parlays. So download the top-rated sportsbook app right now. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Back here, segment 2. By the way, Harrison Wind at Ball Arena tonight. He is getting the scoop. I'm sure he's going to talk to Jokic. I'm sure he's going to talk to Michael Malone. You're not going to want to go anywhere. You're going to want to stay tuned this entire time because you're going to want to hear what they had to say. Certain to be a fire wind chimes from Ball Arena. Let's pretend that didn't happen at the end there, guys. Can we pretend for just a moment?
Easy.
Easy. Guys.
No one is able to block out bad memories like this guy.
You could just do it. Deleted. The Nuggets looked incredible tonight. So guys, Michael Porter Jr. goes down last game. The vibes are terrible. You're thinking, what's going to happen? Who's going to start? Well, first off, Jeff Green started. He's one of the stories for me tonight because I thought he was absolutely fantastic. There's so many things to get to. We could probably do 5 segments here. Let's start with the ball was popping tonight. And we haven't said that for a long time. The Nuggets finished tonight with 28 assists. And part of the reason they only had 28 assists is because they wasted the clock for 5-6 minutes at the end of the game. They were up by so much that they weren't getting it. They were on pace for probably 32, 33 assists halfway through the fourth quarter. But the ball movement, just every guy seemed in flow. We hadn't been seeing that. It looked stagnant. It looked like there was a cloud. We talked about playing with joy. This team tonight played with an incredible amount of joy, and they look like the Nuggets we expected. Who do you credit that for, Dev?
I credit it to the fact that the MVP of the league seen his first guy go down. He's seen his second guy go down. and he stuck to the game plan. Give me the ball, I'll make things happen. All you have to do is get to your spots, trust in the offense, and just play free-flowing. Tonight we seen him free-flowing. It was no shocker that was his first triple-double of the year and his highest assist total of the year, because they got to run their packages. They got to have guys. You bring in a Jeff Green for situations like that where he can be an aerial attack, or he could be a cutter where he goes and finishes, above guys, or you put him in those type of spots, dunker spot like positions, and they ran those type of plays. Also, it was just, I think it was a lot less thinking. Guys were out there just playing basketball freely without just trying to make sure, guys were happy. And that's not to just, crack on Michael Porter Jr., but this is a situation that you sit and you have them watch. Like, these are the type of sets that we're trying to put you in for these easy, quick, 6 points, 8 points here, and then you open it up with your elite offensive, weapons that you have. We're just trying to put you in these type of sets, and we're going to run it around our best players. So I attribute the guys just stepping in and going through what's been working. And Malone, he stuck to his game plan, and it just kept going.
Yeah, so for me, it's like Jeff Green stepping into the starting lineup makes so much more sense as far as he's concerned. Like, his role of just playing off of Nikola Jokic, like every player that gets to do it, like, he immediately looks a million times better. But he's not asked to be the backup five. He's not asked to have this strange relationship with the Dos Verdes thing. Just is so, oh wow, death metal. Let's go. But that lineup or that pairing makes less and less sense the more it's put together. And so when you see Jeff Green in a place where he's able to actually make sense on the floor, it is a big benefit. It also changes the dynamic of the bench, where we didn't see Facu tonight.
Right.
It must be.
Well, we did see him.
Well,
we saw him
in the most garbage of garbage time. We got Bones Highland in earlier, who is just a spark plug. He just adds so much energy to that second unit. I mean, and we saw Jokic staggered quite a bit tonight. But I think mainly it's just a lot of it's just personnel shakeup. It's just a lot guys being put in positions that actually make a lot more sense for them. Obviously, you're not going to, with a healthy Michael Porter Jr., you're not going to favor Jeff Green in that position. But having MPJ not available, it's just
it took away one guy you had to think about. They didn't think about Jeff Green tonight. They just played basketball.
Yes.
And the thing is, Jeff Green, I was so impressed. This is going to make the list, by the way, because I've been saying a lot. And people have disagreed with me, by the way. A lot of other writers have been very vocal about disagreeing with me, saying, no, Denver looks off Michael Porter. He's not getting any shots. They need to find him. I always say there are shots in this offense for everybody.
Everyone.
The offense honestly doesn't need to run any plays for anyone other than Jokic, and it's because Jokic is just the center of it. He's the fulcrum, but everybody else is off of him because that's just how it works. And there's shots to be had if you know how to find them. Tonight, I thought Jeff Green did a great job of just playing within the flow, and guess what? Layups found him, and ones found him. Everything, kick out threes found him. Everything found him, and it's a lot because Jeff was just in the flow of the offense, and everything was kind of flowing there, and it was absolutely great. But you brought up the bench, which to me is one of the biggest stories. There's three things. I've been saying for a long time, Bones is not going to save them. He's a part of the solution, but he is not the solution tonight. No Facu minutes, as you referenced. Bones, I thought, played very good, even though that wasn't a flashy good. It was good defense. It was, he did good things. Competent. And then no two Jeff Green, JaMychal Green were split up for most of the night.
Right.
The only part they weren't split up for was the part at the very end where they almost blew the lead. They were up 23, and they get it down to 15. So I think those three things are it wasn't any one of them. There's going to be the scapegoat. Oh, it was because of Facu, or it was because of
better alignment.
Better alignment.
It was as though they affected the chi of their lineup. They realigned.
It was such good chi.
the chi was off the charts until the end. That was bad chi at the end.
Really, and if you want to just take a look at how free flowing the offense was, or just the type of rhythm that the offense was in, you just look at those field goal attempts.
Yep.
They had six guys have double-digit shots.
Yep.
There is shots in the offense if you run it the way that it's supposed to be ran. Barton had a insane night.
He was on fire
shooting, but everyone else still got shots up, and it was You wasn't upset about Aaron Gordon 3-pointer. He didn't make any tonight. You weren't upset about, these other guys.
He went 0 of 5. I didn't even really notice.
You don't notice because you're just playing. Right. You're just playing the way that it's supposed to be played. And also, if you get back on defense and make up for it in that way, everyone's happy. Right. This was the first time that we seen joy. This was the first time that we seen happiness because, one, shots were falling, but two, they were having fun. Everyone's involved. The second unit came in and they gave major minutes. That was the big thing about the minutes. They let Jokic actually sit. So just having everyone on the same page, it goes a long way.
I love your point about the shot distribution because look at the starters here tonight. Green, 12 shots. Gordon, 11. Barton, 14. Jokic, 14. Morris, 11. Everybody was between 11 and 14 shots. Yeah. That's perfect balance. That's Nuggets basketball. That's Jokic ball.
Tonight is the duality of Nuggets, right? It's like just the greatest looking, most rewarding. The vibe fest that this was going to be. And then just that moment, it's like crazy. I just can't. It just felt like everything made sense suddenly. And it is funny because I guess maybe that's what it is to have a team that is in a lot of ways a finesse squad. If something is off, if something's not allowing the machine to sort of operate the way that it's supposed to, it doesn't work. So,
by the way, the defense was elite. This is the thing: is the offense looked. So Denver has won some games with defense this year. That Minnesota game, for example, where you're it doesn't feel great. It feels great. We had energy, you're excited, but you're kind of yeah, but it kind of looks like they have to just grind to get anything. This was one where they grinded, but they also blew them out on the out. It was everything was there. But so we talked about the offense a little bit. We'll get into some of the guys specifically. The defense tonight was unbelievable. And Jokic in particular, Jokic's defense, it's such a shame that this is hanging over it. Jokic's defense tonight, incredible. Who was the better defender tonight, Bam Adebayo or Nikola Jokic?
Bam was embarrassed in this game.
Humiliated.
It really was.
One of the best big defenders in the NBA.
How he did Cat was already embarrassing. But he's on a tour. Everyone you think is good, I'm going to kill them. And tonight I really do think that he destroyed Bam, and it was actually embarrassing. I kind of felt bad at times, what he was doing to him. He looked like an elite defender. He's blocking shots. He's altering everything at the rim. They're just throwing things up around Jokic because they can't get a good look.
I love this.
And he was
tour.
He was on, he was just locked in on that end of the floor, and it changed everything else. I felt like it was a game plan. We're going to let one guy go off. Jimmy Butler went off. Everybody else around that was
0
everyone else around that was bottled.
Kyle Lowry had 0 points.
You almost forgot he was on the team for a
You
while.
1,000,000% forgot. Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic defensive pairing is somehow unbelievable. Aaron Gordon was good.
Barton gets credit for me too, man.
Yes.
We've been saying this for a while.
Absolutely.
That's the greatest victory lap we all get to take here.
What are we
Barton was
supposed to
an
do with
impact player.
I know.
I love the tour though, because you're right. Gobert, humiliated. Towns, humiliated. Bam Adebayo, humiliated. It honestly is. We're just going through the list. Only guy that's had a good game against him is Daniel Tice.
Yeah,
it's
he's a good guy. He's a good guy. But then you say that he's good and he's going to humiliate him. Every single person that you throw in front of him that you really give that mark to, he's going out and really dominating. And it's not even he's just doing it because that's just who he is. No, he's making it a point to go at certain guys. I really do feel that.
Dude, I think Jokic has had enough. I mean, if
he's had enough. Yeah,
if that minute, if you want to understand how we got to this place, Jokic has just had enough. He's tired of people not giving him credit for how good he is, and people just I think for the longest time he legitimately didn't care, but he became the MVP, and it's suddenly every sports show is talking about you all the time, and it's man, fuck you.
Oh, I honestly think Jokic has a lot of FU to him. And
dude, look at him. It's called Enot.
Yeah, it is called Enot. Yes, so he's overflowing with Enot at the moment.
He's not.
It's actually a little bursting at the seams.
Do something about that Enot, my guy.
Yeah, it honestly is so true. Also, I will say one other thing. Yoke got the foul against Cameron Payne last year. It was at the end. I mean, we all talked about how tired he was. Anybody that watched him, people were like, oh, his defense, there's that. Anybody watched him all year is dude, he's out of gas. He knows the team has nothing. He was just getting frustrated. I feel like this is part of the concern. When Malone referenced the other day about him being worried about his own mental, I think this is part of it. He's like, bro, your fuse is extra short right now, like with everyone. And I mean, we saw in the last game, Michael Porter 2 times Yoke like freaking out at him in the first 10 seconds of the game. Like Yoke's fuse was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And I think it has to do with a lot of how much he has to carry, but a lot of the stuff you're talking about right now, that it's like he's the MVP, still gets no respect, still can't get to the foul line, by the way. Like even this year, my prediction about him getting more free throws than ever does not appear to be accurate. So I think you're right that it was all boiling over. We got to talk about Will Barton.
Oh, they keep playing it on TV.
You just keep seeing it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say it's awesome because we're being recorded on the internet, but so
I can't believe Markieff rolled out. I honestly think he's hurt really bad.
I don't.
I mean, I can't. If Markieff faked that, I honestly do. I think he's hurt really bad because he curled into a ball. He curled into the fetal when he got hit. Man, like I don't think he would do that. Will Barton tonight was absolutely on fire. 7 of 9 from the 3-point line. Maybe I'd have to look at the numbers. Might be his best shooting night he's ever had.
He was incredible.
Dude, he's so reliable this season.
The rise, dude. William Thrillium B. Buckets is so back. It's disgusting, dude. He is the people's champ. Again, like people that are new to the team that have been besmirching the good man's name for seasons now. Like he's not been healthy. Like we tell you this, like there's no way you get a nickname like the people's champ if you're not dope. Like Barton is dope. And when he's rolling, it's like, man, just let that man hoop. He's a hooper.
He's unbelievable. I mean, honestly, easily the team's second best player. Do you remember when we did the season preview? One of the questions we had for Barton was, "Is there any chance he's not the third leading scorer on the team?" Good. And the answer was like, "Yes, there is. He's the second leading scorer." So that's how good he is. But Dev, how do you evaluate?
If you take away his 3-point shooting tonight, that would have been another horrible shooting game from the Nuggets. But he was just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to take the shots. This is my time to shine. This is my time to step up. And we talked about like what guy has to step up. He's already been the second, best guy, and he elevated himself. He went to another level, and that's with him playing incredible defense that doesn't get talked about enough. But he's also stepping up offensively. He's the best playmaker, not the best, but he's a great playmaker. He's rebounding at a high level, he's knocking down the shot, and very, very confident. And they're running the offense through him. And he's a guy that understands the offense, and he makes sure that it goes.
Dev, if you were 7 of 9 from the 3-point line, how many shots are you taking? If you're on fire, if you make because he made like 5 threes in a row. So how many shots are you taking if you're on 5 threes in a row?
I'm probably going to have the most heat checks. Like at some point, I'm not even on fire anymore. You say heat checks, and I've already missed 6 in a row somehow.
Yeah, you're like, but I'm so hot that I can keep trying it.
I shot it so well that it doesn't even matter anymore. I wouldn't have stopped at 9. I'll tell you that.
I want to look into the eyes of the Barton haters out there. You guys. Right here, the Michael Jordan, look me in the eye.
My eyes.
Will Barton was absolutely on fire tonight. He had 25 points on 14 shots, which is the same efficiency as Jokic tonight, by the way. But guess what? He only took 14 shots. This idea of him being a chucker or whatever is just so crazy to me. He was absolutely. Does he take 1 or 2 like where
here's the thing. Here's the thing is that like we're now seeing how good Barton is again, and there have been times when if he's not right athletically, he'll press and he'll make bad choices.
Doesn't scale down,
So like the thing is like people who are newish to the team have seen Barton in his lowest, and he does things sometimes where you're like, because he can't bail himself out through his athleticism. But now he can.
So this is my point. The dude was on fire tonight, only took 14 shots. Yeah. You know why? Because he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it, man. Like, he's on fire. He's not like, hey, run another one for me. It's just like, I'm on fire. If you guys find me, I'm open. If not, we'll keep it moving. And that's just so impressive, man. The fact that he could play 35 minutes and only take 14 shots when he was probably the hottest guy in the NBA tonight. And he only took 14. I'm just so impressed with him. Bones Highland tonight had a very interesting night. First 2 plays of the game. Jimmy Butler's a great player, man. He's a really, really great player. So what happened, I saw people saying Bones' defense is terrible tonight. I thought Bones' defense was great tonight. The first 2 plays, what happened was a floor balance problem from both Bones and the Nuggets, but also great recognition from Jimmy Butler, who sees if I'm out on Bones and they take a shot or something else, I can sprint down and force Bones to guard me in the post, and it happened 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Bones has to learn that lesson. That's not bad defense. That's bad floor balance recognition, and it resulted in him being in a lose-lose. Now, he did give him an and one that was like he slapped him barely on the wrist. Jimmy Butler gets him one. So that was a bad move. But the reason I bring this up is I saw the take on the timeline, Bones defense. I thought Bones was great defensively tonight for most of the time he was out there. In fact, positive impact player on the defensive end.
Are you saying you were seeing negative takes?
Yes, they were saying his defense was bad tonight. But it was because he gave Jimmy Butler looked like he was abusing him. But I'm saying that was a transition problem, not a defense problem.
I'm surprised I didn't see that take. We were talking about how good his defense was. We were talking about how feisty he is and how it looks. From appearances, it seems like he should be one of those like little guards that you can just rub off on a screen and he can't recover, and you can just repeat that action over and over again. But man, he's long. Like he has really long arms, and he's so feisty. Like he just fights. Like he'll stay with guys. He'll see Bam Adebayo like barreling down the lane, and he'll just get in front of him just to slow him up enough for the rest of the defense to recover. Like I was really impressed with the defense. Yes, like if you are judging it on whether or not he's getting posted up under the hoop, like he's going to get beat in that instance. But like
you just have to learn how to avoid those when possible. And that's what I'm saying. He didn't realize that, but that wasn't a defensive problem. It was a setup problem. He's really good. This is a sneaky thing. He has a great reaction time.
Yeah,
we saw it in transition. Dev and I were marveling about it, where like he saw a loose ball and he was the first one to break towards it. But it also manifests itself on contesting 3-point shots.
Yes.
Have you guys noticed that he's blocked a few jump shots this year?
Yes,
and it's because he has that quick reflex. As soon as you go into shooting motion, he's just got a really quick like going from stagnant to jumping, and and that long wingspan, it matters.
I think that the difference with him, because I mean with the Jimmy Butler thing. Jimmy Butler, if he feels a mismatch, it's a guard against one of the best offensive high IQ players in the league who's very, very aggressive. So like you said, that was just like on rotation defense and trying to get back. There should be help on those type of situations. It's just like having Jokic against anybody that's not a center. He's going to attack him and he's going to feel like it's a mismatch. So that's what that. What I love is the fact that he just always seems to try to fight to get back in it. That's what is. He looks like a rookie out there just trying. He's doing everything to just be involved. He's the guy that's going to dive for a loose ball. He's the guy that's, he might get caught on a pick because he's smaller, but he's going to make sure he's still it's still a part of the play. He's not going to give up on a play just because of that.
Right.
He's not the one screaming for help the entire time because he feels like he really can defend, and that's going to come with time. And he's also like really young and into his career, so things will change on that end. But he's all effort, he's all heart, and the Nuggets are really lucky to have a player like that. This wasn't even a great Bones game, but he just has so many impactful moments in the game where he's getting back, or he's the quickest guy up the court, so he's pushing the pace and the defense can't set, or he's going to get a loose ball and he starts to break. So it's just those little things that you just like from him.
Pushing the ball in transition, people don't realize what a big deal this is, man. Like the way he gets the ball up the court, even on makes quickly. One, it buys you a couple extras. 24 seconds of a shot clock. You walk the ball up, it takes 8 seconds before you get there. All of a sudden, you got a 16-second shot clock. Bones gets it up in 2 seconds. You got 22 seconds to work on an offense, and it creates just mismatches. So I'm with you. I think it's a huge positive the way he gets that up. His defense was very solid. And look, his shot hasn't found him just yet. He missed a bunch the last game, missed a bunch this game, but he's still a threat out there, and I like his trigger. I think he has a good trigger. Not too much, not too little. I think he has the right balance there.
Oh man,
what are you just?
Dude, I just put a pretty bad joke in the.
Oh geez,
but everybody responded well, so it's fine.
Austin Rivers also deserves a mention tonight. It's funny if you look at the stat line, he had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. But that doesn't do it justice. His defense tonight was fantastic. I thought he played very well, and he was part of a good unit.
Also, when he pushes that pace, it's just different when having a speed guy that just changes the pace of the game and also puts pressure on the defense to try to set, or they're not able to get set and they're just scoring. He was in a offensive flow where guys were scoring around him where he didn't have to score.
Right.
He's still going to catch it and do his 6 jab steps or whatever the case may be. But also he's still playing within the flow of the offense where he's not just trying to get it for himself, especially from a guy coming off of a bench role. Like he was not playing at all. He's now back into, the rotation for now, and he's still playing the right way. So this was a good game from him, and he's also playing defense, and he has that, swagger to him, and he's trash talking and making sure that second unit is like up to par. So that was a good game from him.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, he's a vet. That's why you have guys that's why you bring guys like that in, like that have been all over the league, understand different roles, and have been, especially now, have been given even more time to reflect on just who he is in this league, on this team. I mean, he was one of the guys that we were talking about in the pregame show that probably needed to step up a little bit and try and fill some of the gap that losing MPJ would leave, and he did. It's cool. He and Jeff Green.
So I've got some information for you guys about balls. About balls.
Wow, dope.
Their golden plant is looking for production technicians.
Just not a manscaper.
Not a manscaper. It's about balls. You can read the full description and apply at jobs.ball.com. Search for golden. Guys, this is great. This is a thing. They're one of the big employers here in Denver, and they have a bunch of jobs. So if you know somebody looking for a job right now, it's a great time. Apply. What exactly does a production technician do, Eric?
A production technician helps.
I'll tell you right now. Do you know? Well, are you about to BS?
I mean, I've listened to us talk about it a lot. I've also been to the
position is on the front line of the aluminum beverage can production process at Ball's plants. The company offers a competitive $27.39 per hour. That's the rate you get. They're pretty solid there. With potential, it's actually fantastic. With potential for increase at 6, 12, and 18 months on the job. It offers exposure to a lot of other manufacturing opportunities at the plant. The production technician role touches on the other stages of production, making aluminum cans and ends. So if you're interested, you guys know what to do. Text golden to 77222. That's golden to 77222, or go to jobs.ball.com and search for golden.
And if you're a person that is looking for a job and sort of maybe looking for a new career, you always want to be on the vanguard. You want to go where the world is going. Ball is where the world is going. You don't want to get a job that is part of the old world, like aluminum cans, sustainability.
Right.
I don't know, freaking rockets, freaking satellites. Those are the jobs of the future. So choose correctly, choose wisely.
You guys want to segue now into actual balls?
Wait, which one are the actual balls?
It's Manscaped time. You guys know about this. You get 20% off plus free shipping when you use promo code DNVR. Guys, 'tis the season. The season. No, it's the thing. It's the season. It's the holiday season. You got some buddies, old college friends or something like that. You don't know what to do. Get them a Manscaped. I'm telling you, your homies brought you a Manscaped. You'd be like, hey, man, that's an awesome gift. Perfect. It's the end of the days of shaving your balls and ending up like a horror movie. The folks at Manscaped have the perfect package for your package. You guys know it. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. They got the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, liquid formulations, and all kinds of other stuff. So go to manscaped.com. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the promo code DNVR. 20% off plus free shipping. That's quite a bit. Promo code DNVR, manscaped.com. And then finally, guys, Green Mountain Dental Group, one of our longest running partners here, located just 15 minutes outside of Denver in Lakewood, family-owned dentist. And here's the deal. You sign up, get a cleaning, x-ray, and exam with them, which you need to do. Cleaning, x-ray, you ate all that candy? Feel a little toothache coming on.
Why'd you look at me specifically?
I know, though, because I know how you do your candy. You go in there, get a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, and they'll hook you up with a free Sonicare toothbrush. This is a family-owned dentist. They're local, Colorado's own. Big fans of Denver sports, so you know you have something in common. They send you the postcard on your birthday, all that kind of stuff.
Dental health of Markieff Morris with the Green Mountain Dental folks.
Nobody loves going to the dentist, but Green Mountain Dental Group, family-owned company. You're going to feel comfortable while you're there. Check them out. All right, Kale, I understand we have a super chat or two to get to. Guys, we love you for these super chats. I mean, honestly, we love you.
It's the best.
We're going to be in Serbia. We can't wait. I mean, some of these Serbians are like...
It's not even about the money. I mean, sure, the money is great. We love it. But it's just about the acknowledgement. You're here with us. You don't even have to give us money.
I saw some people.
Still
people in the comments were saying, "Do you guys hate Serbians?" I'm like, "Have you never tuned into our show before,
dude?
Like, have you guys never watched it before?"
Dev decided he
is Serbian.
That word "decided" is that's the wrong word.
Let's not do
Dev is Serbian as of last year.
Yeah. I got my dual citizenship.
I thought you just actually traded your U.S. citizenship for just straight Serbian.
No, because I still live here, so they make sure that you got to have something here. But yeah, I'm the black Serbian. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows
that.
All right, let's read some super chats while we wait for Brendan Vogt to deliver us some news. We got it. It says, next time they play the Heat, are you worried about something popping off if Morris and Jokic on the floor at the same time? Because Morris is petty. Yes, I asked this question earlier. I absolutely do. I think everybody's going to have their eye on it. But you know what? Here's the thing. Jokic's not scared. Like, Jokic will be out there. It's not like he's going to sit that one out of fear.
Yeah, how terrifying was it after Markieff Morris got in the face of Paul Millsap? The wrath we felt from the Marcus. I mean, these guys are fake tough guys.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? I like where to start. Just go down the list. We'll just go one after the other. I know we have to be a little bit quick on these. Great game from Nugs. Minimum 3-game suspension for Jokic. Max is 10, but important for officials to look at the whole game, too, not just that play. Well, they're going to look at that play only, so that's part of
they're like, let's watch the full game.
I would agree. I don't know if minimum is 3. Look, I mean, some people are telling me they're like clown emoji to me or something like this in my Twitter mentions.
That was me.
Twitter's like the worst place that there is. I almost don't go there anymore just because it's just nonstop.
My Twitter experience is pretty delightful.
Yeah, mine is so much different than other reporters. Just the wildest thing, honestly. I'm like, what are you guys doing wrong?
I mean, I don't know, man. This is a really hard one to suss out. I tend to agree with you. Minimum 3, maximum 10. And like I said, 5. Kind of what I'm thinking. Sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out
what.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what Adam Silver's NBA looks like.
Yeah, Adam Silver's NBA. Jokic quadruple double, 25 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 game suspension. It's a good joke. If you're not laughing, you're crying, guys. If you're not laughing, you're crying. It's a really good joke, worth the super chat. Well done. I think Jokic didn't intend to hit him that hard, but Duncan Robinson hit him earlier that could have taken his knee out, and that was low. Morris to do.
I don't know if that's what it says.
Okay. You know what? There was I don't remember that one actually. I was thinking I do, but it was somebody else I remember. The
Bam Adebayo made smashed into
Gordon.
But
yeah,
there was
and then Jokic ran into.
There was like a whole thing. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what he's saying is essentially what we've been saying is that it's a culmination of many events that sort of happened over Jokic's entire NBA career.
It's funny, but people were like, I saw some people being like, yeah, it's a cheap shot from Jokic, and it is. But here's the thing: he was cheap shotted, and if somebody cheap shots you, like say you're out, hopefully you're not an adult fighting. Hopefully this isn't the thing that happens. But if somebody were, Dev, if somebody does come up to you and give you that one, you don't, and they walk off. You don't wait for them to square up and turn to you. You're like, bro. And then you just immediately get them back it's like repaying in kind or whatever. So to me, I'm like, people are like cowardly, this or that. Like, was he supposed to run around and be like, sir, I challenge you to a duel. A duel, please. Yeah.
Where did you get those gloves? You just it is funny because truly the cowardly act is to try to hurt Jokic and then walk off. What are you going to do?
I was just going to say, one guy hits you
and then pretend he
in
didn't
a cowardly way, you respond back. There's no rule to...
Right,
he hit you. You responded back to being hit. It's simple.
Just because he's playing it coy doesn't mean he didn't just absolutely take a terrible foul on you.
Jokic definitely took the law into his own hands on this. He was not like, you know what, I will wait for the...
Dude, that was street justice.
It was street justice, and he's like, you know what, we're not even squaring, bro. I'm just like, you sucker punch me, I sucker punch you, now let's fight.
What if we find out that Adam Silver NBA is really all based on street justice?
That would be dope. That'd be really dope. He's like, these two have to fight it out now.
The National Hockey League does it. Everyone's like, oh, well, you got to have an enforcer out there to make sure that if...
It's so true.
Adam Silver, watch the NHL, man.
Watch the NHL. All right, what else we got?
Before we move on, important to note, the chat confirming Dev Serbian. From the Serbians. They're very, very passionate about it.
Can I be...
my birth certificate also.
Do I get to be any...
It just says Dev 100.
I mean,
It's actually 500 if I'm counting correctly. Yep,
Well,
500.
this came during Dev's initial soliloquy on the fight itself.
Justin's a real one. Simple.
Pretty easy.
Super chat. Sun's in. Is that a stretcher? The entire team could get a Lloyd Christmas haircut and it wouldn't matter. Thuggets. I don't even. What? Did I read this
Okay,
wrong?
hold on. Wait, is that the second part of the like?
Sun's in. Is that a stretcher? No. Hold on.
Sun's in 4.
Sun's in 4. Is that a stretcher? The entire team could get a Lloyd Christmas haircut and it wouldn't matter. Thug. I think you're saying like they could all look dumb, but they are the Thug. Like the Thuggets. You had the tattoos, you had the looks, but the Nuggets are like dorky Thuggets.
I get it.
I think.
Because they are so formidable. Their appearance matters not.
Not at all. Not one bit. All right. We think. We don't know. Scott says, this whole scenario reminds me of Zach Randolph telling Boogie, in my hood, bullies get bullied. Zach would be proud. Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It 100% does. That is what Yoke tonight did. The bullies get bullied here. Markieff's like, I'm the bully. And Yoke's like, yeah, bullies get bullied.
I know. If this was like a story
it sucks
about,
that he's going to get suspended.
Yeah, if this was like a story about Nikola Jokic, like it would end in him like triumphantly taking on the bullies that like made his life in the NBA so hard.
But instead, he's just going to get processed, served by the
so badly.
Yeah, it's going to go really poorly. I don't think Jokic should have taken it to 11, but he's had enough with being disrespected and showed he's not having it. Screaming baby. I can't read when you do that, Kel. Screaming baby at home too.
Yeah,
Jokic, he's got a baby at home.
Jokic has it. So his fuse is short.
His fuse is so short, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. You never shake a baby, but Markieff Morris, you can shake it.
Wow. All right. We got a $2 super chat from the ashes of Smuggets. The Thuggets are reborn. That's a great one.
That is a great one.
Only a $2 super chat. This was like a $100 super chat.
Yeah,
right there.
We'll put our own money in to make that super chat
to make that worth more. All right. I see Harrison Wynn has a DM to you. Okay, 199 super chat. Will Jokic be suspended and Jokic for MVP? I'm guessing that came.
Yes.
Does this actually ruin his MVP chances if he misses 5?
Yeah,
it would be so funny if, like, at the end of the year, Curry only missed 3 and Jokic did have a 5-game suspension.
Jokic
so
with
dumb.
the Gordie Howe hat trick of basketball. Love the show, guys. You know what that is?
3 fights.
No.
1 fight.
It's a goal, an assist, and a fight.
Okay, all right, there you go, the Gordie Howe. My hockey, man, I know it. Me and the fellas. Me and Dev always texting hockey, man. What else we got? $4.99 super chat. Nuggets 10th game from now is versus Heat. Any chance the league considers this with Jokic's suspension, since they'll be worried about tempers flaring? Man, that's a great work looking at the schedule there. You saying that makes me fear that yes, they will. It'd be funny if the NBA said, "Hey, it's a 3-game suspension, but they don't start till 8 games from now."
Oh man, I cannot wait for this next Heat game. It's gonna be amazing. Let's go.
Wow. All right. Capwise asks, over under 4.5 game suspension under here. I'm taking the over. I think 5.
You're taking the over. Yeah, let's officially be on record here.
5.
Under.
5.
Under.
He said 5 earlier, but he's under now, so he can cut whichever clip he wants.
Yeah, he's really all over the board here. I don't know. Are we changing your view on it, or what's happening?
Just said let's be official. That was your last word. Let's be official.
I'm gonna go under 2 just because hope springs eternal with me.
All righty. Josh Moore, chat out.
Quit testing the top human.
Oh, quit testing the top human. Yes. Yeah, quit testing him.
I have to look into the book, like if the top human will run into the back of a guy who's not looking. Like he's
hey, did he get a cheap shot? So you have a son. Are you teaching him? What are you teaching him? Bullies get bullied.
You know what? You're right. You know what? Still the top human. Still the top
human. He's right. The law is wrong.
What we learned, though, is he's human. He's a human.
We knew there's the top human.
I didn't know that he was human. I did.
All right, what else we got? So dumb. So Blanco says, hippo character throwing a blazing uppercut into the air while the world KO appears in the background. Perfect super.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because he bought a sticker.
Yeah, a super sticker. Yeah, it's a perfect one. Hippo uppercut into the air. The word KO appears. I love it. Such a great one, Oso Blanco. $5 super chat. MVP. I saw people that were like, "Oh, I felt that was a bad look for Denver." I don't know. I hope he's okay. But
any national personality, like we do not give a fuck. We will boo Melo. We will scream MVP to Jokic when he knocks out Markieff Morris. We don't care if you like it. Jesus, it's not up to you.
It's so funny when random guys come in there and punch our fans and stuff like that, and they
love it.
They go on tours, and it's so funny. Let's put it on ESPN again. As soon as our MVP gets abused and he responds back, it's like, no, let's not do that. It's not cool. Which one is it?
All right, what do we got next?
Dude, this is a super chat
I love
fest.
it, man. This is the best. Just want to hear you guys talk about the sadness that is Bol-Bol's brief appearance. Be honest, didn't notice it.
No. I noticed it.
Okay, you talk about it.
It was very embarrassing.
What happened?
Eric Spoelstra got to choose who he wanted to go out there and miss free throws. And guess what?
Chose Bol.
Bol decided to go out there and miss free throws. Like, dude, if they're going to disrespect you, you got to make them pay. Like, you're at the end of the... He thinks that you're the worst guy on the team. That's what that says.
Bol needed to have Yokes back there.
You got to knock him down.
Because look at him and throw the bird.
The crowd loved it when he came out there. It's like, we got Bol. So now you knock it down and, like, get the crowd back into it.
Great point.
He go out and misses them both. It was embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. All right, what else we got? Eric says, the truth is Morris wouldn't have even got the flagrant 2 if Jokic hadn't retaliated, and they had to look at it closely. We'll force refs to watch more closely. I mean, yeah, good luck with it.
Theoretically, I mean, we saw the same sort of thing happen in the playoffs.
I do think there's a truth to this. Like, Jokic gets hit. He's big. He doesn't fall down. Like if Jokic would have like fall to the ground and cry and like held himself and but if he would have Cameron Payne'd him, then maybe yes. But Jokic's just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this.
Yeah, the thing about Jokic is that he is has integrity and is like actually like a person of I don't know, value. So he doesn't pretend to get hurt. He doesn't crumple up on the ground and cry and embellish like
his brothers would have beat him up.
Like you think, like if he was gonna. There's no universe that Jokic grew up in a world where he could get hit and then fall down and like pretend he was hurt and have people back off.
Right.
Oh man, crazy.
All right, what else we got? One more? Yep. Last one. Thoughts of Butler barking and telling Jokic to meet him outside after the scene kind of stopped. I mean, here's my thoughts. You know that's not going to happen. It's like it's a hold me back moment on steroids where it's like, I'll bet you're not going to meet me in a dark alley. It's like, nope, I'm not. It's not going to happen. Nobody would allow that.
That's a guy that's like realizing the moment. Like he wasn't there when it happened. He was not initially upset. Everybody's held back and he knows it can't happen. Yeah. So you're like, I have to be the one that protects the team. I have to be the tough guy. Like you Dennis Haslam, he should have been out there doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Like,
He was. Yeah. They were side by side. They were looking for it.
Yeah. So if you're really that mad and you really seen that happened, what stopped them from even approaching or trying to do that? Don't just do that and make it bigger than what it was, because the entire game, it was like good sportsmanship on both sides. Jokic's helping Butler up. Butler's doing the same thing like that. That happens, and I understand it, but don't be the tough guy that's faking like you want to go and fight in the back. Because first off, you know what would happen in that fight. For one, I don't think that Jimmy Butler's scared or anything like that. But like, come on, like you knew what the situation was.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's all performative, obviously, but I don't know. Just what a crazy night, man! What a crazy night in the old association.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is. Butler was just being a good teammate. I mean, I do think he's about it. Like, Jimmy Butler's a real one. So is Udonis Haslem. Like, both those guys
the same thing that
would have, even if they would have gotten curb stomped.
It's exactly what Devin Booker did after campaign. Like, he just, whether or not you intended or not, you at least have to give the appearance that you are there for your guy. Like that you will.
And I really do think they are there for their guy for real. Unlike Devin Booker, who I think knows he has to play a part or something. But those guys are there for it. The one thing I'll say is, if Jimmy Butler, if you were to give him truth serum and say, hey, man, somebody does that to you, they come up and just try to it was a running elbow to the rib cage. Somebody does that to you, you maybe you're cool enough to not retaliate. That's the only question. But like, if this would happen on the playground where there are no Adam Silver or this or that, like, come on, Jimmy Butler doing the exact same thing Jokic did. So like, I think he understands that hey man, this is this, but what have you. Ooh. Here we are. Hopefully Markieff is not seriously injured.
Of course. Hopefully, of course. Like that would change the discord. I mean, like that would be terrible.
Of course. And hopefully Jokic is not suspended for very long, or maybe not at all. I don't think the NBA can not suspend. Like, they have to send a message on this one, but we'll see what ripple effects there are. Denver, the vibes were so great, man.
They're kind of still good. I don't know. Like, am I wrong for like still having really good vibes over here?
You just got to hope for like a very, very, very mild sentence. You just got to hope for that. So that, look, they got the Pacers, the Hawks, and then the Blazers. Like, say it's a 3-game suspension. I don't know if Denver wins any of those.
I don't know if you heard Dev before we got on. He said he's going to be taking a vacation for 3 to 5 games. He'll let you know how many tomorrow.
Yeah, it's TBD.
What I will say, I'm told Harrison Wind, by the way, Jokic speaking now, wrapping up. Harrison Wind will be joining us in just a moment, so we'll get to hear from the locker room today. But, yeah, I don't know if the Nuggets win that many games. I mean, it's one thing to lose Murray and stay afloat. It's one thing to lose Murray and Porter and stay afloat. But you lose Murray, Porter, and Jokic, and it's like, this roster wasn't created for this.
No.
Yep, but, I mean, Jokic gets to rest and be around his family. He has a new daughter that he's going to be able to be around.
Oh, yeah, Onyeha?
Can I say this? Because we have heard that the Nuggets we know Michael Porter is unvaccinated, but then also some of these other ones, like this, ever the time for like Malone to have a sit down with whoever's not vaxxed and be like, hey guys, I know you don't believe in it, but is it a thing? Because right now, if we lose anybody else, we might not field a team. I'm going to have to call Lance Stevenson up.
I was just going to say, we're going to get Lance is going to make him dance, baby.
We might actually see Lance Stevenson this week. Like,
we're going to get some Nick Stauskas. We're going to get
Stauskas? Stauskas? Oh, God.
Yeah, this would be a great opportunity, like, to let those guys know, like, hey, like, because if you have to sit out for safety and protocols, that's your position that's getting more time, like, with the people that's, on it and things like that. So hopefully everyone just becomes on the same page where they're not having those type of scares or situations where they have to enter into that safety protocol.
If Porter does have to have some sort of medical procedure, hopefully they just vaccinate him when he's under. But they just put it in with the anesthesia. They wake up, they're like, good news, your back is fixed and you're vaccinated.
Wow.
That take was mine and mine alone.
I was going to say, every now and then you put me in the worst position. I don't know what to do. The Nuggets have climbed all the way up to the 8th net rating. They are now at plus 2.9 overall net rating. They have the second best defense that held, although the Clippers actually caught up to them. Denver was, I believe, below 100. Now they're at 100.4. And their offense has taken a big boost. They are all the way up to the 24th. They went from 26th to 24th best offense, guys. So there you go. They do move again to 6-4. So they're in great spot. If Jokic wasn't suspended, if that last play didn't happen, the vibes were so good in this one that I'm looking at the Pacers and I'm like, oh, I'm looking past the Pacers. I'm looking all the way into Friday's game, the Hawks, and I'm kind of looking past the Hawks too. That's how confident I would have been feeling after this one. Should we bounce around the association?
What's going on in the old association?
Guys, it looks like the Lakers are finally going to get a win.
Oh, good for them, guys.
They're up 7 with 3.5 minutes to go. Although Carmelo Anthony did just get a technical foul. Jokic and Melo. Cosmically linked. The number. God, let's hope not. 15-game suspension. Ouch, that would be a bummer. The 76ers lose. No Embiid, guys. He rested tonight.
Tough.
He kind of rested, but he went into health and safety.
Oh,
he tested positive,
first he rested.
Right? Yeah.
First he rested, and then you're right, I forgot about that. First it was a scheduled rest, and then it was health and safety.
All at the same time.
The Bulls smacked the Nets. They're for real. That one really happened. The Grizzlies beat the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves choked away. Timberwolves, man, talk about bad vibes. Down bad. 5 straight losses. They keep blowing giant leads.
Dude, 5 straight bad years.
Mavs beat the Pelicans. The Mavs are 7-3 despite all odds. Talk about bad vibes. There's the worst vibe 7-3 team you've ever seen in your life. The Warriors continue to roll 127. My God, they are too good. Steph Curry went for 50. I just saw it.
What?
50 piece from Steph.
We do have
Harrison. I see him. 7 rebounds, 10 assists.
How many? Tell Harrison we're going around the association.
We're around the association, Harrison.
Yeah, tell him he has to wait for that, too.
The Suns beat the Kings tonight as well, so the Suns moved to 6-3. All right, from Ball Arena
50
with the scoop. He's heard from Michael Malone. He's heard from Nikola Jokic. He's heard from one other mystery player. He is in a state of calm contemplation. Harrison, how how do you describe the vibes of this game, like of this night at Ball Arena?
Man, this night was all over the place. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This night was all over the place. Pre-game, Michael Malone drops a bomb that Michael Porter Jr. is going to be out for the foreseeable future. So you have that. Then you have a game where without Michael Porter Jr., the Nuggets offense is clicking like it really hasn't so far this season. And then it's shaping up to be a great win, probably the best one of the year, where the vibes were great. And then that incident happens at the end of the game. And that's really what anybody's going to be talking about after this one. So it's unfortunate.
It's definitely unfortunate. I'm guessing the mood post-game, though, was more somber than it was immaculate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, that's all anybody's really going to talk about from this game. That's where kind of the aftermath's going to come from.
When you let me ask you real quick, when you're asking people, other writers and stuff around, what's their general sense of what the fallout will be from this?
A suspension. And I think that's pretty clear. Look, this incident wouldn't have happened if Markieff Morris didn't give a shoulder check / elbow to Nikola Jokic in the ribs coming up the court. It wouldn't have happened, if that didn't take place first. But based on the way Nikola Jokic reacted, a straight shoulder into Morris's back from the blind side when he wasn't looking, I'd have to think a suspension's coming, and that seems to be the consensus here.
But how many games? I mean, I agree.
I don't know. I don't know how many games. A couple. I'm not sure how many games. I don't know.
Okay, well, we're just trying to get your. I see you were taking the coward's approach here, not wanting to stamp your name on a prediction here. But okay, we'll say Harrison Wind doesn't know, unwilling to guess.
I mean, I don't know. 2 games.
Okay.
That's my prediction. 2 games.
All right, there you go. I like it. Bold. All right, what did Michael Malone have to say?
Michael Malone doesn't think Nikola Jokic is getting suspended. He said he doesn't see any reason why he won't be available Wednesday. But you got to appreciate Malone sticking up for his guy.
I love it.
Malone said he hadn't seen a replay yet, so he kind of got out of it with that. But other than that, Malone was loving the defense tonight. I mean, just another incredible defensive effort from Denver. 96 points from Miami. Kyle Lowry was invisible this game. Nikola Jokic's rim defense continues to just be a storyline this season. He's been incredible defending the rim, and he was tonight against Bam Adebayo. I mean, Nikola Jokic just made Bam Adebayo look like another dude out there tonight. He absolutely dominated that matchup. And Malone was loving the defensive effort, like I said. The bench played much better as well. And so, Malone honestly was in a good mood, all things considered, I thought.
Malone is one of the best of all coaches in the NBA currently coaching at speaking his message through the media. Most of the time it's directed at the players. Like, he's talking to the media, but he's really talking to the players. I get the sense that in his comments tonight, he is speaking to the league through the media, right? Like, he's using this as like, yeah, guys, what's the big deal? I mean, it's a little tussle, a little kerfuffle. I don't know.
Boys will be boys.
I don't know. I saw Markieff. He was reaching for his back all night. I feel like it's a pre-existing injury. There was probably something there.
You can't claim it on his insurance. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to go to the tape. So that's definitely him trying to downplay it. But Malone probably not sleeping tonight.
I mean, are you sleeping tonight?
Probably.
Well, you
not.
are, because you have that sweet snooze mattress.
Oh my God, sweet snooze. All right, so the defense was incredible tonight. The ball was popping offensively, though. Did Michael Malone have anything to say about the offensive end of the court?
To be quite honest, he might have. I forgot, though. Full disclosure, he might have. But I mean, my mind was elsewhere, trying to think of what I was going to ask Nikola Jokic, because, well, like I said, I mean, that incident just really overshadowed everything. I mean, that's probably pretty obvious, but I agree, though. I mean, from my perspective, the ball was definitely popping out there. It's funny. They still shot under 30% from 3.
Right.
They shot 12 of 41 from 3. Actually, one of their worst 3-point shooting performances of the year.
But it felt good.
It felt good because they were great from 2-point range, and Nikola Jokic dominated after only taking 14 shots. So the ball was definitely popping. I agree.
Dev says that Jokic is on a tour. He's on a tour of the best bigs in the NBA, just humiliating him. He's got Gobert, he's got Towns, now he's got Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo tonight, I mean, he's known for defense, and tonight, I mean, he might as well have been Wendell Carter Jr.
He might as well have been Dwayne Dedman. Like, I didn't know if it was Dwayne Dedman or Bam Adebayo out there the whole night.
Yeah, it was wild, man. All right, so let's get to Yoke then. What did Yoke have to say?
Yoke had a lot to say. It was super interesting. I think the big takeaways are, A, he's super remorseful. He talked about how he shouldn't have reacted that way. He was concerned for Morris when he was kind of on the ground, and seeing the replay, how his head kind of snapped back. Jokic had a lot of remorse about that. He did say, though, that he felt like he needed to stand up and protect himself and defend himself. Because he said that if he didn't retaliate or didn't do anything, he said he didn't even know if that was going to be called a flagrant. So he kind of felt like he had to, make a point of it to protect himself and get a flagrant call. So I think those were the two big takeaways. He was remorseful. I think he wishes he didn't go to the extent that he did, but he's not sorry about making a point of it.
Yoke's like the Green Hulk, where he gets into a fit of rage, and then as soon as he becomes a monster, and then as soon as it goes away, he's like, "Whoa, what happened to me?"
You've never made a better point where you sounded so pop culture illiterate. The Green Hulk? That's the Hulk.
The Hulk is green, bro.
Like you go on the Facebook to talk about the Green Hulk.
But I was right? I was right?
Yes, you were right. The Facebook's a good place to talk about the sports.
All right. So remorseful Yoke. Okay. What else?
He also said, it was a stupid thing. I shouldn't have done it. I feel bad. I'm not supposed to react that way. I thought this was interesting, though, and pretty telling and pretty spot on. He said he was expecting a take foul on the play as it developed for Morris, but he thought it was a dirty take foul. And
it
that's
was!
why he needed to protect himself. Yeah.
You saw the play, Harris. I'm sure you've seen it a dozen times. It was a dirty take foul. You're right. That was a go up and slap the arm or whatever. And Markieff tried to get cute. Markieff tried to get cute on that one and get away with a little bit of a cheap shot.
It was a total cheap shot. I mean, it was an elbow to the ribs, and it was not like a common take foul at all. I don't know if you guys saw what Eric Spoelstra had to say in his press conference. Eric Spoelstra, I know coaches have to defend their players, but Eric Spoelstra pretty much referring to this as a common take foul is cowardly almost. That's absolutely ridiculous to call that a common take foul.
He said that Markieff gave a common take foul and Jokic blew it out of proportion.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Stick it up for his guy, whatever. Nobody thinks that. Markieff doesn't even think that. There's nobody on earth that could possibly think that.
We have a tweet from Markieff Morris.
Let's hear it.
Waited till bro turned his back. Shake my head. Noted. And then a write down note emoji.
Yeah, he's giving him a cheap shot for sure. I would caution him. We'll see. But all right. What else from Yoke tonight? Anything else?
I mean, that's really it. That tweet's funny from Markieff Morris saying that Jokic waited until his back was turned. I did enjoy Jimmy Butler trying to tell Jokic to meet him outside after he had already been separated from the officials.
Hold me back.
He couldn't tell that to Jokic when he was standing right next to him.
Hold me back.
He was separated. But it was actually interesting because the Heat did not speak to the media tonight at all. Eric Spoelstra talked. They did not make any players available. And my read on that is they tried to get Jimmy Butler on a bus and on a plane out of here before anything else could happen.
Smart moves all around. I mean, that's probably a good idea. Did Yoke talk about the game at all? It's such a shame that I don't get. Did Yoke mention the ball popping tonight? Just the way the team played.
He did. He said things were clicking on offense. He said defensively they were obviously great. He was asked about why they've been better defensively this season, and he pretty much said because we haven't been able to hit any shots. And, like, that's classic Yoke. It's pretty spot on. It's kind of the truth. But I was so impressed with Jokic throughout this entire game. It was a physical game. Like, this was a very physical game. I don't know if it came across on the broadcast, but Bam Adebayo and the Heat were hammering Jokic every single time he got the ball. I mean, he could have gone to the line 20 times tonight. He went there 8 times. So it definitely was building. But Jokic just dominated this entire game, I thought. And like I said, he had Bam Adebayo in his back pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. Was there anything else, or is there anybody else that talked?
Monte Morris talked. Jeff Green talked as well. The whole other side to this game is that Michael Porter Jr. is out for the foreseeable future.
Right.
It's crazy how that just gets brushed so far under the rug. But Monte said that he's spoken with Mike. He's in a really good mental space, he said. Monte said Mike isn't like that down on himself. And Yoke said something about Mike too. I don't remember the quote exactly, but he said something to the tune of, he just needs a little time off and he'll be back. I don't know what you can take from that, but it seems like Mike he's at least in a good mental space. We don't really know what's next in terms of his timeline, but that's about all I have for an update on him.
Okay. All righty. Yeah. And then Jeff Green, what did he have to say? Gets his start.
Yeah, Jeff Green. Jeff Green, I thought could have come to Jokic's defense a little better, if I'm being quite honest. Jeff Green said he did not think Markieff Morris tried to commit a dirty play on that take foul on Nikola Jokic.
Wow, so I said nobody thought that, and apparently Jeff Green thinks that. That's wild. That is disappointing.
I hope he didn't see the replay before saying that, because like we just talked about, that's an impossible conclusion to come to after seeing the replay. I mean, Jeff Green did say that, he's always going to ride with his teammate. He's got his back, but didn't come to as hard of a defense of Jokic as I thought he might.
That's crazy. That's disappointing. All right, what else?
That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Crazy night.
What a crazy night. Michael Porter being out for the foreseeable future is like the third note, really, of the day, which is just so crazy. Nuggets get their high point of the season and their low point of the season at the same game. It's pretty crazy how that works. This league! Harrison, thanks so much, man. I know that was a grind tonight. Get home safely. Can't wait to see what you whip up.
Yep, see you guys.
Cue that outro music there, Kale.
Wow. What are we left with, fellas?
Each other.
The friends we made along the way.
The friends we made along the way.
90-minute podcast. I feel no closer to resolution. I'm just as conflicted. I feel as though Jokic was right and wrong, that I'm right and wrong, that the Nuggets are good and now they might be bad. What do we do?
I think the news drops tomorrow, probably around 4 o'clock. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I'll probably schedule tomorrow to do a list. I can't wait. I love when the list is positive. There's going to be a lot of positives from this one. So I'm going to do that one with Harrison Wind. And I expect that shortly after we get off the pod is when the announcement will come down about whatever it is that the discipline action will be for Yoke. I do think the ripple effects, we've referenced this, but don't just include a suspension. As brother Markieff Morris has a note here, like, oh, noted. I do think he's going to go for a retaliation. And, let's hope that it's just like a clownish whatever.
Yeah, to me, it's like, I mean, we're in the absolute heat of the moment right now. Everyone's like feeling certain kinds of way and they're putting it out there, blah, blah, blah. Like, in 10 days, you'll just be like, I mean, whatever. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Especially the way that Jokic came out after. I mean, he's so deeply apologetic. If I've just watching the timeline, like, you could just see in his face, like, he's like, I can't do that. Like, he just, again, it's that great power, great responsibility. Like, Jokic is just an unbelievably powerful human being, and he can do things to other people that others cannot do back to him. And he realizes that, he can't just like crush people, even though he can easily crush people.
I just hope that he's better protected by refs. and they just watch for those type of things. He also, I hope that he wants to get better about how he reacts to those type of situations. Just because you just don't want those type of things. You also don't want a guy just getting teed off on and just nothing happens. So hopefully there's just learning on all sides, especially even with Markieff Morris. Maybe he wants to change the way that he's just attacking guys.
I bet that'll happen.
Yeah. Hey, Markieff will look deep into the mirror and, the error of my ways, the guys.
Yeah, the press conference tomorrow.
Next time he goes for a karate chop, he's like, bow.
I did find out, right? Maybe just specifically to Jokic.
Yeah. We'll find out. Everybody, 90 minutes. Thanks for riding with us. All the upvotes, all the super chats. We really appreciate it. I mean, keep some things. Say a prayer tonight. Hopefully the basketball gods shine on us. And by the basketball gods, I mean Adam Silver.
Yeah. Say a prayer. Write a tweet.
Let's go. And get your pitchforks ready for when the sentence comes down tomorrow, I guess.
Wow. I think we just decided to. Whatever. Okay, let's go.